Warren Ellis is an Australian musician and composer. He is a member of several groups, Dirty Three, Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds and Grinderman. He has also composed film scores with Nick Cave. Ellis plays violin, piano, bouzouki, guitar, flute, mandolin, tenor guitar, and viola. Ellis has been a member of Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds since 1994. Life and career. Ellis was born in Ballarat, Victoria, Australia. He won a scholarship to a private high school. He learned classical violin and flute at school in Ballarat. Ellis then went to university in Melbourne, where he studied classical violin. After that he then worked briefly as a schoolteacher in country Victoria. In January 1988 he travelled to Europe, where he busked in Greece, Hungary, Scotland and Ireland. A year later he returned to Australia. Ellis then wrote music for theatre groups and performed at art openings and plays in Melbourne, before he started playing in bands in the early 90s. In 1995, Ellis was invited to play with Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds on a recording. He remained with the band and continues to play and record with the Bad Seeds, and Grinderman, formed as a spin-off group from the Bad Seeds, who have released 2 albums. In 2002, Ellis released a solo album on King Crab Records called 3 Pieces for Violin. Since 2005 he has played on several Marianne Faithfull albums, and collaborated with Nick Cave exclusively. The two composed the award-winning score of the film The Proposition, and then collaborated again on the scores of The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford, The Road and Far From Men. In 2009, Nick Cave and Warren Ellis released White Luna, an album that includes other soundtrack scores. Ellis has lived in Paris since 1998 with his French wife and their 2 children. Collaborations: Cat Power album You Are Free, violin on Good Woman, the Blackeyed Susans album All Souls Alive, Kim Salmon's album Hey Believer, David McComb's album Love of Will, Hell's Coming Down from the Primal Scream album Riot City Blues, Slight Delay album by Loon Carmen, also performed with the Chicago burlesque queen Maya Sinstress in early 2000, Crazy Love by Marianne Faithfull, Nick Cave, with Isabelle Huppert on Before the Poison, Theo Hakeler's album Drunk Women and Sexual Water, Jim Yamaridis' album Into the Day, Pirate Jenny with Shilpa Ray and Nick Cave on Son of Rogues Gallery. Pirate Ballads, Sea Songs and Shanties. Marianne Faithfull album Give My Love to London. Film and theatre scores with Nick Cave. Wozzeck, theatre score, adaptation by Garcia R.N. Gardarson, The Proposition, soundtrack, Metamorphosis, theatre score, The Assassination of Jesse James by the Coward Robert Ford, soundtrack, The English Surgeon, soundtrack, The Road, soundtrack, The Girls of Phnom Penh, soundtrack, Lawless soundtrack. Days of Grace, soundtrack, West of Memphis, Voices for Justice, soundtrack, Loin des Hommes, soundtrack, Mustang, soundtrack. Awards: 2005 AFI Awards, Best Original Music Score, 2005 Inside Film Awards, Best Music, 2005 Film Critics Circle of Australia Awards, Best Musical Score, 2010 Kermode Awards, Best Score. References. External links: Dirty Three, Nick Cave official site, Grinderman official site, Warren Ellis at the Internet Movie Database.